The situation today is that we've asked the Russians to look at their stocks of Novichok and come up with a convincing explanation of how some of it could have been used on the streets of Wiltshire. And as I said to the Russian ambassador yesterday, and as Theresa May said in the House of Commons, you've got to understand the outrage that people in this country feel. This is a brazen attempt to murder innocent people. A police officer is in hospital, and to the best of our knowledge, this is the first use of nerve agent on the continent of Europe since the Second World War. And we want the Russians to give an account of what's been going on, and if they can come up with a convincing explanation, then clearly full disclosure needs to be given to the Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, the chemical weapons watchdog in The Hague. We've given them until midnight tonight to do that. If they can't, then clearly the UK government will come forward with measures, a response that is commensurate but robust. And what we've been doing today is, over the last 24 hours, is talking to friends and partners about how we see it, the gravity of the situation. And I've been very impressed by the strength of the support that we've been getting from President Macron of France, from Sigmar Gabriel of Germany, I just talked to, and of course from Rex Tillerson in the United States and from the White House. And one thing that really came through from the American response was a sense that this is part of a pattern of behaviour by Vladimir Putin and his regime. And you're seeing this reckless support for the use of chemical weapons all the way from Syria to the streets of Wiltshire in our country. And I've been encouraged by the determination of our friends to stand with us. There are a number of measures that the UK could put in place. I don't think today is the day in which I'm going to, as it were, unsheathe those. Those are not for today. That is a matter for the Prime Minister tomorrow. If and when the Russians fail to come up with a convincing explanation for the use of Novichok on the streets of Salisbury. So, it's up to them. They've got until midnight tonight to clear up the matter. If they can do so, then that will be interesting and important, and the conversation then moves to the OPCW, the Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. We try and get to the bottom of what has happened. If that's not possible, then, as I say, the UK will respond in a way that is robust but commensurate. I think what I'm hearing from friends and partners around the world is a real sense that Russia has been moving in the wrong direction, and that it's important that they stand shoulder to shoulder with the UK. And speaking for the UK, which is all I can do, we are certainly determined to be robust in our response. But we will do what is right, and we will do what is right to protect the British people.
And how do you respond to Russia's claims that the UK is demonising Russia?
Well, we don't want to. We don't want to demonise either Russia or the Russian people, for whom obviously we have a very high regard. And Russia is a great country. It is a great pity, therefore, that the Russian regime seems to be moving in this dangerous and disruptive direction. And that's why they have until midnight tonight to clear the matter up. Otherwise, of course, the UK will take the necessary action, which, as I say, will be robust.